wordplay. Man, that brings back memories. What's up, Fragrant World? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. My name is Justin Copeland, and on this channel, Stay Fresh Productions, we talk about all things dealing with fragrances. Any interest in that kind of content, you're in the right place. Join the Fresh Squad by clicking that subscribe button, and when you do so, you immediately elevate, you lift, you enhance your freshness. You will feel it and others will smell it. We're diving into another list video today, and this list is dedicated to fragrances that lift your mood. There's something about these 10 fragrances I've selected here that just are uplifting to the mood. They'll make you feel better about whatever the heck is going on at the time. They could have these aromatherapeutic qualities depending on how you respond to them. Not every fragrance is going to affect everyone the same way, but all I can say is that these fragrances uplift my mood. They elevate my mood whenever I need them to, or even when I don't need them to. They're still just fantastic. All these fragrances that I'm gonna talk about, you can sample over at SenseAngel.com. They are another fantastic source of sampling some great fragrances. They do have some designer, but they do primarily focus on niche, and they do have some houses that might be hard to find in other places. So definitely gonna link them down below, and we do have a discount for you. I think it saves you maybe 12% on your entire purchase. That's gonna be valid for a limited time. So make sure you check out the link, take advantage of that discount, and sample any of these fragrances if you haven't already, or just look at their selection. It's always growing. They have some good stuff there, so make sure you check them out. Let's dive right into the list. Now, what makes an uplifting fragrance? You could think it has a freshness to it. That's kind of a very basic way of defining it, but I don't think it has to be that. It doesn't have to be completely fresh. I think all these fragrances are on the fresher side of things, or at the very least have a fresher facet, especially at first spray, but they could have some depth to it. Elevating your mood can be more than just the high tones. You can have some of those low tones as well, and this fragrance falls into that category. It just simply smells so splendid. I never use that word. I don't know why I just said that. It smells just beautiful. This is coming from Kajal. This is called Kajal Homme II, the sequel. There are a lot of bright citruses when you spray this on. So it is fresh, it is kind of juicy and almost fruity in a way, but it is primarily characterized by lots of sandalwood and cinnamon, peach, and other woods. It is quite sweet and almost fruity and juicy with that citrusy freshness, but there's a nice, almost kind of smooth but dusty woody depth to it. That peach is definitely at the forefront here, and it is a warm, spicy fragrance. It kind of reminds me of stuff in the realm of like Mont Blanc Individuel or even Creed Original Santal, but it's a different beast than all of that. But nonetheless, a very uplifting scent, easy to wear, kind of a designer-ish profile inside of a niche presentation, but it smells of great quality and definitely something worth sampling. That is Kajal Homme II. Okay, this next one up, kind of in the same realm as the Kajal. It does have a primarily fresh quality to it, but that's not all it is. And it's not fresh in your very typical way. This is from Prada. This is Prada L'Homme. Nothing new here. I do find this to be quite an uplifting scent. It is a soapy floral, clean iris, soapy, fresh, a little bit powdery, but it is quite sweet from amber. That amber brings a kind of a sweet warmth in there. Kind of smells like there's vanilla in the background. So there's like almost this creamy, some people say marshmallow-like. If you don't know what that's coming from, check out this video. It's hilarious. This kind of clean, sweet, but fresh marshmallow-like soapiness. Very, very refined, a beautiful fragrance, and something that I think can even uplift those around you. Nothing wrong with smelling fresh and clean. Everybody loves that. So Prada L'Homme, definitely worth sampling if you haven't. Next, this is Vacation in a Bottle. Some people might say this is a little feminine. I would agree, but I still think I'd wear this, and it smells beautiful. It is mouth-watering. It is transportive. We're talking about Sicily from Mancera. This transports me to warm weather, beach. There's fruit trees and you can just smell everything in the air. It smells like a fruity cocktail. It's a fruity floral with the freshness in there. A lot of citruses, lots of fruits. I know peach is also a main component here. And there's a lot of florals, like I said. Again, it's very, very just playful. It's very bright. It reminds you of a bright sunny day. And I think it is a perfect fragrance to elevate the mood, even just to smell it. Even if you're not gonna wear it, you get a whiff of this stuff and it's pretty potent too, so that helps. It's gonna hit you, it's gonna affect you. That is Sicily from Mancera, really uplifting scent. All right, we're back into clean territory, but this time, this is a little bit fresher, I would say, than the Prada L'Homme. This is more aromatic, has more of an aromatic quality. This is coming from Replica. Margiela, this is called At The Barbers. Kind of a basic barbershop style fougere scent in terms of the genre. Nothing stand out here, but just really well done. It just kind of nails down all the key components that you would expect from a fougere. We have bright citruses, we have green, aromatic herbaceousness, we have lavender, we have some pepper, you know, spices are in there. And there's a nice kind of creamy sweetness in the background alongside some leather. It smells like shaving foam. It smells like you just left the barbershop, and who doesn't feel uplifted after they get that fresh shave? And who doesn't feel uplifted when they smell that freshly shaven face?
If you're smelling people's faces on the street,
just make sure you know them and make sure they know you, and make sure you guys talked about it beforehand.
It's simply beautiful. Again, fairly simple in terms of the genre, but nothing wrong with simplicity. That is At The Barbers. Here at number 6, this is a summertime staple. If you love mandarin orange, juicy, fruity, bright, sparkling mandarin orange with some florals, jasmine, orange blossom, and a lot more depth, some herbaceousness, some warmth, some animalic notes apparently, which again, I never quite get. We got to talk about Tom Ford Mandarino, the Amalfi Acqua. Very fresh, citrusy, but kind of a fruity citrus because mandarin orange can be on the sweeter side of things. A little bit of a white floral thickness to it without it being too heady. Perfectly unisex. Makes me smile even from the paper. Even better when you wear it. Something that begs for the sunshine. And you put the sunshine with this, your day is made. You're gonna smell fantastic and everyone else is gonna agree. A little bit on the casual side, definitely for a casual day out or at the beach or just hanging out or lounging. Smell uplifting while you do it. That is Tom Ford Mandarino di Amalfi Acqua. Check it out. All right, into the top 5. This will always be one of my favorite juniper berry based fragrances. My favorite fragrances that use gin. We got to talk about L'Humaniste from Frappin. I just have a tester bottle, that's why it has a no cap here. This is citruses, but more on the bitter side of things, which is great for the heat. You do have a bitter, kind of almost green, astringent juniper berry with this gin accord. And so there's a sharpness to it. There's almost this mouth-watering sharpness that reminds you of gin, but doesn't smell overly boozy. I think there might be some woods and maybe musk in here. It is sweet and sharp, a little bit green and fresh, refreshing, definitely uplifting. If you're looking for a lift up here, you're gonna get it in the first maybe 3 hours. After that, it does start to tank and the performance suffers. It doesn't last very long, but it smells so gorgeous. Nonetheless, an uplifting fragrance, however you want to wear it. That is L'Humaniste from Frappin. Ooh, one of my favorite fig fragrances that I've smelled. Definitely very authentic, transportive. Once again, this is Philosykos, that's backwards. Philosykos from Diptyque. But we should show the back here because the back has this beautiful artwork. Really, really gorgeous stuff. This fragrance is an ode to the fig tree. Not only do you get the fruit, the sweet, juicy fruitiness of that fig, you also get the greenness of the leaves, you get the woodiness of the branches and the trunk. It's all in here to make this very fresh, kind of cooling, but sweet and juicy, fruity, but green and woody fragrance. A touch of coconut thrown in there to add a bit of a tropical flair and even a little bit of creaminess in the heart. And you got yourself a very uplifting fruit scent. This is fig to the finest, perfectly unisex, very uplifting. Check out Philosykos if you haven't. This is the Eau de Toilette. They also have an Eau de Parfum. I believe you can sample both of them at Sense Angel, so check them out. See which one you like better. Currently my favorite from the House of Creed. I do have one more coming in the mail soon that I think is actually my favorite. I've only had decants and I haven't had a decant in years, but I finally have a bottle coming in. You'll see what that is. But for now, this one takes the throne. This is the original Viking from 2017. Definitely an uplifting fragrance, even down to the note breakdown. So many aromatics. This is kind of a fougere, similar to what we were talking about with At The Barbers. It's in that slightly barbershop style. You do have these very characteristic fougere-like qualities. You do have bright citruses like lemon, maybe bergamot. You do have aromatic herbs like lavender. You do have some spice from pink pepper, actually a lot of pink pepper in here. And you do have woods from sandalwood. There's a creamy, woody earthiness in the background. Vetiver's in here too. Oh, and a lot of mint. You cannot forget a lot of peppermint. Beautiful mint and pink pepper and lemon kind of combo here. There's a bit of a sweet rosiness to it as well. Ultimately kind of smells a little bit like classic Old Spice, but I think much more refined, much more modern, I would say. Very uplifting stuff. This one begs for refinement. It begs for being smartly dressed, and it elevates my mood. That is Viking from Creed. Not a cheap one, but definitely worth sampling. Number 2, I think this is currently my favorite from the house. And it doesn't get quite as much love as some of the others, but I just love it. I've worn it a lot. I'll keep wearing it a lot. This is called Sedley. And this is a very invigorating, fresh, citrusy, minty scent with some slightly synthetic, woody nuances backing it up, but it really actually just makes it quite sexy. Mandarin orange, again, bringing that fruity, citrusy quality, very fresh and sparkling. Maybe some spices in here, maybe a little bit of an herbaceousness, a lot of mint for sure, very minty, and mixing with that sweet, fruity, juicy citrus quality, it's literally mouth-watering. And again, there's this kind of sexy, woody backbone that's, again, not the most natural, but still smells fantastic and definitely helps it stick around a lot longer than it used to. This is an updated bottle as of 2020. I believe some of the synthetics would be ambroxan. It's not an overdose here, but it is definitely present. Kind of this sexy, woody muskiness in the background that, again, acts as a fixative, helps it stay around longer, but also adds this very intoxicating nature. And it gets me great compliments, and it's so uplifting. Every time I wear it, I smile. And then everyone else around me smiles, and then I smile more, and then everybody's smiling, and nobody's sad. This stuff is wonderful. That is Sedley from Parfums de Marly. Check it out. Okay, number 1. I talk about this fragrance a lot. I'll keep talking about it because it is one of my favorites. It is a powerhouse in terms of a fresh scent, but there's a lot of depth here. The overall profile of this is very fresh, very elevating in terms of lifting your mood. Lots of mint, green mint, very, very authentic, fresh mint leaves. We have galbanum, which is kind of this slightly dusty greenness in there that adds a nice texture. We do have some moss, a lot of mossiness here. Very green, very fresh, very reminiscent of foliage, I would say. And I'm gonna stop teasing you. This is Amouage Beach Hut Man. Not only is it green and fresh and invigorating and uplifting, and it does all of that without citruses, which I always love and appreciate. There's a good bit of woodiness in here too, and there's a good bit of a balsamic quality from myrrh. You do have this kind of sweet resinous myrrh that lingers in the background and kind of just like fills out the foundation of this fragrance underneath all that green freshness. So green freshness with this kind of sweet balsamic, flair that really just fills it out. A lot of vetiver in there, so it is quite woody. Ultimately smells a little bit mature, maybe even a little bit vintage, but not dated. I would wear this today, but I don't feel like I'm dressed right for it, so I'm gonna save this. But I do love even just smelling it from a tester strip. Really elevates my mood, makes me feel so wonderful. And it is a powerhouse. This is a beast mode fresh scent through and through. It's gonna last 15 plus hours. It's gonna have a beautiful sillage trail. It's going to get people's attention, and it will probably elevate other people's moods just like it does for you. So definitely sample this if you've been sleeping on it. Not for everyone, but if everything I said sounds interesting, it's definitely worth getting a decant. That is Beach Hut Man from Amouage. Okay, that is the list here. Let me know if there's any of these fragrances that you've tried and you maybe experience the same effect in terms of being elevated in terms of your mood every time you smell them. But nevertheless, tell me at least one fragrance in your collection that never ceases to elevate your mood and feel really good no matter what's going on around you. I want to know what that is. And once again, you can sample all these fragrances at Sense Angel. We're going to link them down below, and make sure you take advantage of that discount code to save a little bit of money. If you like the video, please like the video. It means so much and it helps out with my visibility across YouTube. And please join that fresh squad. Elevate your freshness. If you're gonna elevate your mood, you might as well elevate your freshness by something as simple as clicking subscribe. Really means a lot. Trying to get to 50,000 by the end of 2021, and I would love your help. Those of you who are already part of the squad, thank you. You guys are the best. But nonetheless, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.